So, do you have any? Has there been any sort of cultural differences?
You say towards work.
There's the fun ones is when I don't know how to pronounce things, like just like 5 minutes ago when we were over there, or an hour ago. I was like, oh, before we fly out, let's get Neapolitan pizza. And she's like, what's Neapolitan? And I was like, Neapolitan. She's like, Neapolitan? I was like, yeah, that one. So there's always like pronunciation things.
Yeah.
But when we were getting married, actually, there was.
Yeah, we had like an Indian ceremony that his mom planned for us. And that was really, I wish I had studied or researched what this event was, because I was getting pulled in every direction. They were putting cumin on my face 1 second, and they were throwing flowers at me, and then we're dancing with hats, and it was a lot. And they were putting all this jewelry on me, and so it was cute. But it was a lot. I slept that entire week. It was a lot. So yeah, I wish I'd researched.
There definitely were. There were. I think me for the first time realizing, like, for me it's normal. I was like, oh, they're just doing this. They're just doing that.
He did not warn.
And I didn't warn her, and I didn't prepare her enough to at least mentally be like, okay, all these women are gonna approach you. They're gonna do all these things.
They're gonna be touching you.
They're gonna be touching you, and it's not weird. And
That's fascinating.
And so that ceremony was probably hard. I think even sometimes when I have Punjabi friends over, you're like, why do they talk this way? Or sometimes
it's a lot of yelling. Like, it sounds angry, and that stresses me out because I'm just
like in English or
no,
it's in Punjabi. It's like
Punjabi.
and when you can't hear what they're saying,
it sounds louder.
They get louder, so they just want to keep going, and so it sounds really aggressive, and it freaks me out. And so I'm sitting there with like a 75-pound dress with cumin all over my face and hair, and I'm like, and music is just blaring, and there's lights, and I'm just like, I think this is how I go out. Like, who knew?
Or like when my mom calls, and sometimes I'm actually yelling at my mom, but other times I'm just talking to her, and Anna's like side-eyeing me like, don't be disrespectful. I'm like, I'm just joking with my mom. What are you talking about? Because I'll sound serious or I'll sound loud, and then I'll laugh, and she's like. So I think there's like learning like just body language and tone of how I speak, and just the culture of like, because we also have a big culture of respecting people older than you. It's not just your elders, it's like someone that's 40 and I'm 30, I'm gonna show respect and things. And so and it's like, okay, if we happen, like we had some random guy stay with us. We had someone, a close friend. Right? We had a close friend in San Antonio who had some uncle who didn't speak a lick of English traveling in the States, and he got stuck at the Houston airport, and they needed someone to pick him up and host him.
Stay the night.
And for me, it's like, okay, come over here, uncle. Yeah, we're gonna do all these things. Here's a bed. And she's not used to someone just sitting there and staring at her.
Well, I think he was weirded out, because we didn't warn him that he was married to a white woman. And then,
so just
second of that, they're like very like traditional, and so we don't. It was the weekend, and so we typically don't eat breakfast in the morning, or if we do, we just get it ourselves really quick. And Gurmeet wakes up early, and I was sick too, so that's why I slept in late. So I slept in late. Gurmeet's downstairs making breakfast for this man, and I come downstairs in my shorts and my t-shirt, and I'm just like, hey, thank you for breakfast, and I'm just drinking coffee, and this guy's just like talking, or not even talking, he's just like eyeing me, and I realized he was weirded out that my husband was serving me, and I was like, got it, okay, and then I made coffee for him or something. And that made him a little happier. But I just was not reading the room at all. My hair was like all a mess, and my makeup's like down my face, and I'm just like, so where are you from?
Wow.
So,
That's hilarious.
I mean, but it wasn't, by the end of it, like, he gave me a hug, and he was just like, oh, you're so wonderful, you know, and I was just like, okay, like, but at first it freaked him out, because...
And sometimes, you know, in our culture, like, we'll just sit there and not say a word, and it's perfectly okay. You don't have to talk. But I think, you know, for others, it's like, why is it quiet? Why is it dead silence? Why are we sharing?